Etsy, the ultimate guide to unlocking your successful home-based business for beginners. Written by Armani Murphy. Narrated by Mae Klingler. Introduction. Have you ever sat back and wondered what it would be like to create an exciting business using nothing but your creativity, business knowledge, and an internet connection? In the past, people would start stores on eBay and sell using that. Etsy has completely changed the online marketplace. Etsy is a platform that allows people to sell their own crafts as well as unique goods such as collector's items, and it's all streamlined to make the process as easy as possible for you. Yes, it is indeed possible to make quite a good living using Etsy, but there are some basic building blocks that you should be aware of before diving right in. It's important to have an idea in your mind about how you're going to be unique and the finances required so that you're maximizing your profits. Building a unique store is as important as your revenue. You'll stand out more if you have a very distinctive brand image. Etsy has several options that allow you to customize the appearance of your store. The products themselves are what is going to make you stand out most online. We should reiterate at this point that the most successful Etsy businesses are owned and operated by people who love what they do. If you feel overwhelmed or blown away by the large competition, just sit back and remember that Etsy is a fun website. This book will remind you that making money on Etsy is fun, and when you're successful at it, making money will not even be the main purpose, although you'll have a lot of that too. Also, at the end of the day, Etsy sellers are business owners. Many of the same principles that guide entrepreneurs in the offline world will apply to your store online. Just because you don't have a physical store doesn't mean you're exempt from the rules and best practices governing every business. Retail is no exception. Where Etsy really shines is its customers. People love buying unique crafts and vintage items that they can't get anywhere else. If a customer wanted to buy a TV or a PlayStation, for example, they would just go to Amazon. But Etsy has already cornered a unique niche of the market and thus has made it easier for you to find relevant customers and grow your business. All you have to do is piggyback off the work that Etsy has done for you in starting the creation process for your brand. When you consider the amazing brand power that Etsy has, the small fees that they charge for using their name in your business are very manageable and very reasonable. Also, remember that many successful Etsy sellers will eventually branch off into their own standalone business. This is kind of like the holy grail of Etsy selling. If your product line has really taken off, there's potential to branch off into your own website later on. But for now, learn the principles of selling using the Etsy brand, and you'll likely make money and have a chance to do what you love. Pour your passion into the crafts that you make, and you will bring happiness and delight to many customers. Chapter 1. The Plan. They say that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. The most important part of getting your Etsy business up and running is to start with a sound plan for success. Figure out what product lines you'll offer and do some research about which price points to set. Mapping everything out in a sketchbook or notebook will help you along your journey. Of course, there are other things you have to plan for as well. What will be your competitive advantage over other similar Etsy merchants? What design scheme will you use for your e-store? Picking things like color and design should be considered before you launch your site. When choosing design schemes, always remember that the goal is to get your potential customers to buy. Try coolors.co, COOLORS.co. Simplicity of design goes a long way. Complicated images and colors that don't stimulate the buying urge will make your store unattractive and less successful than it could be. On the other hand, planning for a catchy design with stunning logos will create successful buying interactions with customers. You may also want to go as far as to plan for a custom design art such as a custom logo. There are third-party websites that offer such design elements for reasonable prices. www.fiverr.com or www.upwork.com. Writing out a proper plan before you sell your first item will be crucial to your success. Establish clear goals for what you're selling, and don't forget to think in terms of marketing. Etsy is all about marketing, and that means you have to think beyond simply what you're selling and how much you're selling for. Map out the type of experience you want your customers to have, and that brand vision will guide you in your communication, mass and individual, with customers. Getting into the nitty-gritty of numbers is essential, although you don't have to be a math whiz. Set some goals for how much product you want to move and the timeline for producing it. If you're making your own collectibles to sell, factor in how much time that will take. If you're going to distribute products from a third party, figure out what timelines are involved in getting the product and selling it. When you put together the numbers, you should have a clear picture of what you'll have to sell and when you have it. Assign an average dollar value to your product, and then
Sample complete. Ready to continue?